Hello, hello. Success Coach Amy here with another flaming hot topic from Blaze. Building a life with action, zen, and energy. I am outside. There goes a bird. I am outside and it is so gorgeous out. It is May the 4th. So Star Wars is running all day and all night in my house specifically. And oh my gosh, I don't even know what the temperature is, maybe 45. It is just gorgeous. Blue sky finally. We've had some rain and oh my gosh, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm feeling good and just wanted to share that. So everything that's been going on in my life, so crazy. A little personal background. So my oldest is just moving ahead in his life in an amazing relationship. And my twins are driving. Oh my God, they got their permits last month and they're both doing really well. And my youngest, my baby, is doing really well. You still have your ups and downs. That's just the way life is in any household, in any family, in any person. Ups and downs. It's just life. It's being human. But overall, she's doing much better. Me, on the other hand, not so much. So I do take some medications for anxiety and things like that, and they really help. I might be switching because I've been on these for many years, and I know when I don't take them for more than a couple of days, just stupid not taking them, I can feel it. I just can feel it, and I'm like, okay, yep, get back on your meds, it's okay. And it's not that big of a deal for me, but I have just been feeling so tired. And not just tired like I need to sleep. I'm getting actually decent sleep. Tired like emotionally. Just drained, really. So much just going on with my kids, my parents, my in-laws, just, they're getting older. I've done the sandwich generation video before, and it just gets tougher as you get older. And because every generation is going through different things, you can't compare. My husband and I had very, very different upbringings, and our children are having a different upbringing from both of us. And our parents did not live through a pandemic, and as children we did not live through a pandemic, so our children are still going through things that we will never understand, never truly understand. As I've said many, many times, I have been doing a lot of research and talking to people. I talked to a lot of different social workers and therapists for a whole bunch of different reasons. And again, my day job, I work with families who have kids 0 to 5. Sometimes they have older children as well. But the parents themselves who are in their 20s, 30s, they have mental health challenges. They have neurodivergent brains. They are still struggling. Most of my families, not all of them. And it's just really tough. So I've been thinking for a really long time that I should be getting my master's. I've had my associate degree since I moved to central New York from New Jersey. And I always just thought, well, I'll get a job, no big deal, stay home with my kids for a few years, get a job and just work up the ladder at some company. Well, around here, it just doesn't really work that way. And I didn't want to travel far because I gotta take kids to the doctors and just whatever. So after my 4th was born, I went back to college. My husband was like, oh, what are you gonna do now? I'm like, well, I have a 3-month-old baby. I have 2 2-year-olds and a 10-year-old. I'm a mom. Like, what else do you want me to do? I have a newborn and 2 2-year-olds at home all day with me. So he's like, why don't you go back to school? You always, talked about it. My mom and I always talked about me being a kindergarten teacher. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna do this. I have like a whole new look on life. I have all this different kind of energy. And so while still pretty much full-time breastfeeding, I went back to school when my baby girl was 10 months old. And that was okay, because I only took 2 classes the first semester, and the school is 15 minutes away. So that's a half hour for the drive, and only like maybe 90-minute classes. So I was gone like 2 hours. So I would try to, nurse her. Sometimes I would pump for my husband. And of course she was eating some solids, so he was good with that. He was good with changing diapers and nap and all the good stuff. And then I started going full time the next year. And it was like, I was so excited. It was so great. And I felt like I was finally me. For the last 20 years, I have felt like Riato's wife. I'm Patty's daughter-in-law. I'm Heidi's daughter. I'm Joey's sister. I'm the kid's mom. And it was like, does anybody know my name? I do have a first name. And it just was kind of funny. I didn't think about it until years later. And when I was in college, it was like it was just Amy. And people would say Amy, and I'd actually answer instead of mom or whatever. And I loved being in school. It was so amazing. The problem with me specifically was that I could not figure out how to write a lesson plan. I couldn't figure out the standards. My brain was working with most of the classes, but when it came to those specific details, I was just not getting it. And at this point, I want to say my youngest was in preschool. She was the only one that went to daycare. And I'm so grateful, because that's how I found she needed speech therapy and some other things. And that's where our journey with her started. But it also made me realize other things that I wanted to do and talk about and learn and all of that. So my last year, I was able to go into a brand new program that the college, City Cortland, had just adopted. It was like an individualized program, kind of write your own script. So I had to write this big, not a thesis, but like a big paper that said the classes I've used for early childhood education, the last couple years, and then the few classes that I have left to take for my last year, and I wrote them all out. This is what I want to do. And so I called my program Family and Community Development. Very, very general. This was, oh my gosh, this is 2023. I actually graduated 10 years ago this coming December. So this would have been 9 years ago. So not that long ago, but for my community, it wasn't really a thing. And I always wanted to be able to connect the families and the schools and the community. I mean, community meaning resources, really, what's available. And just, I don't know, I think once I graduated, it was kind of like, ooh, now I have to like work and do the thing that I was in school for. And I found myself in the human services path. I wish I'd realized that a little earlier. I probably would have gotten a human services degree or a community health degree, because those probably would have been a little bit better for the type of work I want to do. But I'm still working towards all of that. And that's part of what Blaze is. So it's essentially mentoring and coaching with life skills, and again, the community resources and connecting all of this together, being a liaison for the families in the community to everything. And I really felt strongly that life skills is not always taught in families. It is barely taught in schools. And when it is taught in schools, it's usually a semester, a year, maybe. You gotta have these classes all the time. Students don't remember. They have so much going on in their brains as teenagers. And again, that's something else that I've been learning, not just because I have 3 teenagers in my house, but just the overall thought process of how the brain works. And it's just been absolutely fascinating. So executive function is like such a big buzz phrase for me. Neurodivergent. So finding out all of these science-y terms has been really super cool for me. And it's just made me realize that I really need to get moving on actually connecting with my community members and the families as an actual business, which is what Blaze is supposed to be doing. I've said this before in another video, I believe. So as a nickname growing up, people used to call me AIM. Makes sense, Amy, AIM, whatever. And what happened was, there's this phrase, ready, aim, fire. Just get ready, do your planning, prepare, and do the thing. And I feel like my whole life I was stuck on ready, aim. Aim, 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 aim. Never pull the trigger to fire. And then I kind of joked a few years ago to my mom, everyone used to call me AIM. It's a coincidence. I know that. I'm just kind of joking. But in a way, I'm also kind of serious. It's a thing. I never thought of labeling myself, but I realized, yeah, there's a few challenges that I have. Neurodivergent brains. I think everyone freaking has one now. Post-pandemic, everybody is realizing they need help. They need change. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to try to help everybody with. Creating goals, and how do you get there, and who are the resources to help you with that. And it's not just goals for the adults, it's goals for the children, it's goals for the whole family. Where do you want to go? It was like back in the 80s and 90s, they used to ask at every job interview, where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Oh my God, that is like the dumbest question to ask a 21-year-old who just graduated college. Because if you want that job, you're going to be like, oh, I'm still going to be working here, working my way up the ladder. Really? That's the dumbest question. What do you want to be doing in 6 months? How about a year from now? Let's do short-term goals. Long-term goals are great. I'm not saying don't do them, but they need to be realistic. That's the biggest thing with goal planning. They need to be realistic and short-term, especially for kids and for adults who are just choosing a brand new path that's, it's just new to them. So they're still navigating all of that. So hopefully, again, this is May the 4th, 2023. Hopefully a lot of videos after this will be more about my actual work. And, this whole video, I've just been like, oh, I always have my hair back. And I'm just kind of staring at the curls and the craziness of them today. Just trying to be real. My videos are not edited. Definitely don't do hair and makeup for these. I'm outside in my front. You like this? I cut myself making dinner. But anyway, see, I'm a real person. I'm just a mom. I'm not just a mom. I'm an amazing mom. I'm a wife. I'm a daughter. I'm a daughter-in-law. I'm a sister. I'm an aunt. I'm a sister-in-law. And now I want to be a mentor and a coach. So let me know if you have any questions, specific topics you want me to cover while I'm chit-chatting. And we will have more to come on a potential podcast and some TikTok shorts. Getting into this whole social media thing. Yeah, I gotta market, right? Okay, you all take care, and I'll see you next time. Wishing you health, wealth, happiness, and freedom.